What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? What is going on? Welcome to our Smooth Club podcast, the show where everyday men discuss everyday topics. I'm your guy, Arrington Gavin, and joining me is my bros, Mr. Zach Johnson, Ciroc Fox, and Jonathan Jones. Fellas, how's everybody doing today?
What's up, man?
Blessed and highly favored, brother. How you doing?
Awesome. Doing great, man. Doing great. How was everybody's fourth?
Oh man, it was cool, man.
I ain't do
God
nothing
was-
to for the fourth. I ain't do nothing.
Not nothing. Not nothing, Ciroc. Not nothing.
I had a good nap. Played the game. I ain't do shit.
What about you, Jay?
Can you repeat the question? My sound went out real quick.
Oh, my bad. How was your fourth? What'd you do for the 4th of July?
Went to the beach. That was about it. You know,
Okay, man. Okay.
celebrating the weather.
Okay, it was hot
so
as hell,
are black
by the
people?
way.
Are we celebrating the 4th of July anymore? Mine was unintentional. I just
Juneteenth,
didn't give a fuck.
Juneteenth, baby.
Hey, you know how I was celebrating? I was watching this documentary on Netflix called Who We Are, Chronicles of Racism in America. I highly recommend fellas to check it out.
Right.
I'm like a documentary buff, and just because I think I can like be entertained and learn something at the same time. And the whole premises of the film was to like again talk about the racism in America, but the guy that was the presenter and the creator of it, he was an attorney and professor. That he was born and raised Catholic, in Memphis, Tennessee. Him and his brother were like the only African Americans in their class, and I mean the man's head goes so deep into literally he's having a conversation with the man holding a Confederate flag, protesting this monument that's about to get removed, and he has like a one-on-one debate with them, and he spits facts to the point where the guy agrees with the black man. And then he ends off the conversation shaking the man's hand. Not the black guy shakes the white guy's hand, because obviously the white guy didn't want to hear it, right?
Right.
And literally that's how I celebrated my 4th of July. I was in the house. I'm like, I started calling my family. I'm like, you gotta watch this. You gotta watch this. Telling my fiance, I'm like, you gotta watch this. You gotta check this out. Because like I said, it was hot. I don't really do nothing for 4th of July, really.
Yeah.
But like Ciroc said.
It's crazy, bro, because like we're the adults now, so we're the ones that's supposed to be doing the cookouts and everything like that, man. And it's kind of a drop off, bro. If I'm being real, I don't really see a bunch of cookouts going on like they used to when we were growing
hey, Zach,
up. Bro.
I didn't mean to cut you off. You sound a little staticky. Do y'all hear that?
Sound in the water.
Yeah.
You sound.
Hold
in the
up.
water.
Hold up, can you hear me now?
I
We can hear you, just sound like a little-
Why he get connected? He was about to say, "Niggas too lazy to be getting together now, man."
All right, what about now? Can y'all hear me now?
It's still, and I think you're a little frozen too. Did you want to sign out and come back in?
Yeah. Give me a minute.
All right, it's all good, peeps. It's all good, peeps. It's all good. It's the power when it
But
comes
he
to
right
television.
though. He definitely right though. This is my thing. Back in the day, people used to swallow that pill, and even though if they was beefing with another person, or even though they found out such and such wasn't really his daddy, they would still get together, swallow the pill, and force people to be a family. Nowadays, folks ain't got time for the BS.
Too many shootings.
They beefing. They ain't getting
There you
together.
go, Jay. There you go.
They shooting at family gatherings. How many times you seen it on the news? There was a family gathering or some type of party, and they shoot each other.
And it was
Sophie
extremely
didn't
sad
stab
because
Uncle Ben.
Yeah.
it's so sad. It's so sad because, like you brought up, Jay, with the shootings, like, not everybody had a great 4th of July, like, we can all say. I mean, the over in the suburbs in outside of Chicago, I mean, like what, 60, it was 30 people wounded, 7 people lost their life in an annual parade that they normally have every 4th of July because of, gun violence. Well, not gun violence, but just, an idiot wanted to. Yeah, I mean, and he was literally like from a window and like da-da-da-da-da, and it's just like, damn, like, and we're still talking about it to this day, and it's just, at the end of the day, it's just extreme. Hold on, let's see.
Y'all
Zach
know,
is back. Hold on.
What it do?
There we go.
Yeah.
Am I
you saying, JJ?
Am I still on the water?
He plugged in the Ethernet.
The 2 parents that died and left their little boy.
What?
Oh man. He was
Hold on, say it
2. I
again?
think he was 2 years old.
Yeah, 2 of the parents got shot, and they the dad was like on top of the little boy, like he saved him. And come to find out, our family friend worked with that lady,
Damn.
Wow.
That's crazy. I didn't know about that one.
For real. Because like there was a little boy wandering around and nobody knew where his parents were.
Man.
I mean, it really breaks your heart because they're still bringing up the identities of the victims, because at the time they just knew about the carnage that was caused on that street, but they're just now like JJ was saying, they were mentioning the names of people and showing pictures and things like that. And I mean, I was just talking to a family friend, much older cat, and he was just saying, my wife is terrified to go to the grocery store in the daytime, like by herself. Like I literally have to like always go, with her just so she wouldn't feel as, just, scared, because, there's still people that, open carry, that carries their weapons, going to the grocery store and stuff. And we don't know this person from, we don't know any, this people at all. So it's like, she's definitely like, oh, let me go back. So it's just causing a lot of harm to society.
The one that they stopped in Richmond. They some dude had hundreds of rounds of ammunition, was going to shoot up some 4th of July thing at some park in Richmond. Man. But somebody tipped him off and looked like 2 days before, and they arrested the dude, which is crazy.
No, why? Did y'all hear about this this former prime minister out in Japan? He was like the longest running prime minister in Japan, very respected guy, and he was out helping a friend with his campaign, just speaking to the public in the streets, and he was gunned down and shot twice. He was 67 years old, and he was killed by a handmade handgun. And I'm like, and the guy that actually shot him was a guy that worked for law enforcement. I think he worked for like something law enforcement out in Japan. So to them that was like their JFK moment. Right. They're still mourning with that. And a lot of past presidents, was sending their condolences through Twitter and social media and things like that. But
stuff like that be sounding like hits.
Handmade.
Stuff like that be sounding like hits. I mean, I know my life is I've been in fighting all my damn life, and shootouts was damn near a normal occurrence. So I look at things different, but that definitely sounded like a hit. It sounded like a hit. It sounded like somebody saw somebody in the community who was weak enough to manipulate and get this man down this path just so they can take this guy out. I know it sounds crazy, and I know that sounds like man, conspiracy level types, but I've seen that type of stuff in real life. Like we've investigated stuff like that in real time. And it fits that exact MO. Dude who probably killed him he definitely wasn't financially well off. I guarantee that. He was probably going down a dark path as far as mentality goes. And someone was watching him and saw like, yep, I'm about to use this man as a tool to finish what I need to, It just happens a lot. It happens a lot. And that sounds like it. Motherfucker made a gun. God damn.
No, serious.
No, it's insane. It's insane because at the end of the day, I'm like, okay, we're trying so hard to get rid of weapons, but at the end of the day, people are gonna be like, that's fine. I'll just make mine. I'll just make my own. That's all. I'll just make my own. It's gonna be easy.
And it's crazy. It's crazy because if the bad guys got them, the good guys gotta have them too, though. You know what I mean?
That's true. That's very much true, Zach. Fellas, I forgot to mention in the beginning. No, but
I got my shit in the house of decoration.
I feel you.
No, I'm trying to. I see the Wi-Fi was acting up, so I'm over here trying to fix all that up. But I forgot to mention before, guys. People that are watching and those who are listening, ways you can support the show is very simple. You can check us out on any podcast platform, whether that's iHeart, Spotify, Stitcher, Breaker, Google, anywhere you get your podcast. Hey, please support our Smooth Club podcast. Also, you can watch us on our YouTube channel, Rugged Evo TV, and on Roku on the Global Vision Network. So guys, great show today. We have an exclusive with my buddy Mr. Les Smith. Les Smith is running for Chesapeake City Council, and this is not his first time doing it. And I just want to really get some good questions, good conversation going on with him. And I want to start off by asking you guys, when it comes to just voting and even on like a local or national level, like when you hear the phrase like, you know, your vote counts, what's the first like reaction when you hear that? Like, your vote matters.
Bullshit.
Your vote matters. Continue, Jay. Expand.
I mean, it's just they just want them numbers, man. I mean, most of the time they ain't really doing what they say they're gonna do or what the people want. It's just more of a left or right side is what most people are choosing.
I vote so I can complain. I vote so I can complain without people saying shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I'm the biggest hater of the two-party system. I feel like I am the hugest hater of the two-party system. I don't like neither of them. I don't like them Democrats. I don't like Republicans. Y'all kind of slow.
Yeah.
But I feel like you can't rightfully complain about that if you're not at least participating in the game that they're providing. Like, yeah, I'm playing this game. It's not working. I don't like it. We need to do something about it. If I feel like I don't say nothing, like if I don't vote or nothing, don't even attempt, I feel like my voice as far as on a public platform don't hold as much weight.
My thing is, the older I've been getting, the more I've been seeing that the local votes are the ones that really count. You know, as far as, I mean, I'm not going to say like the presidential election doesn't count, but I think everything that happens at the local level, as far as what I've been seeing over the years, is what really makes a difference. And for me, it's like, I want to vote just because I know our ancestors, man, what they went through, like, you know, getting beat, you know, to, you know, trying to go to the voting, you know, polls and getting turned around, all the voter suppression, even though a lot of that's still going on.
Yeah,
they're still doing a lot of it, but it's a lot better than what it was, you know. But now they just got other different tactics to do it, so it's crazy out here, man. You know.
No, I could agree with everybody. I mean, Jay spoke the words right out of my mouth when it comes to saying, you know, is BS, because at the end of the day, there's people that wait in line in the morning. You know, there's people that go up and that are excited to do their vote. They put their faith in the candidate. They're expecting promises being made, and yet again, after like years and years of being in office, because there's a lot of politicians that are like in their upper 80s that are just never gonna leave, and it's the same old thing. And to the point where when it comes to campaigns, is it all promotion, or is it really like you're doing it for the sake of the people? And we're really starting to lose our patience. And like Ciroc said, I mean, it's on both sides, you know, Democrat and Republican. Like, both of them are starting to be BS. It was a BS factor to always do a two-party system, in my opinion, to begin with, because it's never going to freaking come with any responses, never going to come with any conclusions, nothing will ever be passed.
One side is going to get the advantage. One side gets the advantage, and then the other side does everything they can to block whatever the other side is trying to do. So nothing changes.
And
you know what I mean?
Democrats can at the same table laughing
right.
away.
Democrats get majority on something, they try to make a change. Republicans block it. Republicans get majority on something, they try to make a change. Democrats block it. And then at the end of the day, we don't go left or right. We just stuck, looking dumb.
and that's why they're bringing up saying we should pack the Supreme Court with, say, more people on the left side, because right now it's majority conservatives in Supreme Court. That's why the whole Roe v. Wade thing was like overturned. But I'm like, yeah, that would sound good if you do that, but at the end of the day, are we gonna have the same old thing we get with Senate and Congress? Okay, you make it, you know, a balanced kind of Supreme Court, then it's gonna be half of this is waiting to overturn this law, and just it's all just, you know.
But that's what I mean by it. It shouldn't be no two sides. It shouldn't be. Your brain don't work like that. Everything is taken into consideration when you make a choice. Your feelings, your spirituality towards it, what you physically feel in the moment, everything is taken into place when you make a decision. So our body government should be the same way. It should be a collective of different attitudes and viewpoints, and it shouldn't be like, okay, wrong or right. No, it should be, okay, how we feel, how financially can we handle it, physically can the people go through it, mentally, you know what I mean? It should be a bunch of different thoughts, not just our side right. No, our side right. Bitch, what? How do y'all really feel about the situation?
No, I mean, for me, it's just like, damn, I lost my thought. Hold up.
It's all good, Jay. We got all the time in the world. It's podcast. We good.
It's just like, some of the types of decisions that they making, like the Roe versus Wade thing, it's like it's so wild to even like wrap your head around. It's like they gotta get a check to be doing this type of overturning this type of stuff. Like you don't just randomly like all these years and y'all can't find some gun control, but randomly y'all can bring up having abortions.
Right.
It's like
Christian like is bringing a lot of money.
Jay.
No, you good.
Well, and like the part I always just I laugh at is because majority of the people that are excited that Roe v. Wade was overturned, right, are the exact same group of people that was saying, "This is my body. I'm not taking the vaccine. I'm not this. I'm not that." I'm like, okay, look, I'm all pro-choice. If you, I told people, hey, if you ain't get it, that's your choice. It's your body. I mean, that's your choice. Same for what these ladies going through when it comes to abortion. That's their body, their choice. So you coming around saying, "Oh, thank God, we get to save all these lives." They did the right thing. But I'm like, you the same people that were saying your body with this vaccine, and this person is talking about, okay, they forget that pregnancy is a hard process. Now, I mean, I know people that have gone through it, and you know, you actually have to sign a waiver. Like they have, I think mothers sign paperwork like a letter to their child, because it's you don't know who will, you know, come up from the surgery. You don't know if the baby will make it after the procedure. You don't know if the mother or if they lose both. I mean, it's a tough situation. So at the day, and on top of that, when it comes to, you know, rape, right? If the mother's raped, and so they give birth, now they have to look at the face of, you know, possibly the guy that took, you know, it's we don't think of like the mental health that goes on for the ladies, and it's just it blows my mind. Yeah. But like you said, JJ, people are aligning their pockets. People are they're gonna continue to align their pocket, and there's a small form of people that mean good to the area that is not getting that.
Until it happens to them, there's a small slip up and with their secretary, and then they want that.
Right. Big facts.
That's true. That's true. That's true.
That abortion happening in a whole nother country.
We gonna look, y'all. We're gonna go to a quick commercial break, and when we come back, we're gonna bring on our guest for this show, Mr. Les Smith. So be in.
I'm glad I didn't stand up.
And fine then, we're gonna do a commercial break. Bonfire. Y'all, we are back with our Smooth Club. So look, we are going to bring on Mr. Les Smith, but before I bring him on, I want to give a quick bio about him. Retired deputy sheriff for the city of Chesapeake with over 28 years of service for the sheriff department. He's also currently is a business owner in the financial industry, where currently he hosts a business expo throughout the city of Chesapeake. Also a native of Chesapeake, a former chairman of the Chesapeake Democratic Committee. He also wants to, you know, just be that voice for Chesapeake City Council. Graduated from University of Richmond with an undergrad from St. Louis College, and a faithful member of numerous organizations such as the New Chesapeake for Progress Education Foundation, the New Chesapeake Men's for Progress, NAACP, Fraternal Order of Police, Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated, National Association of Blacks in Criminal Justice, and many other, Hampton Roads Democratic Business Alliance, and member of the Chesapeake Sports Club. Without further ado, y'all, we're gonna bring on Mr. Les Smith. Get him on. There we go.
Don't have no clap machine.
What's going on, Mr. Les? I know we haven't made that kind of money yet.
Good afternoon, everyone. How are you?
Doing great. Thank you so much for putting the time out your busy schedule.
Not a problem.
Awesome. I want to make
Thank you
sure
for
you're
having me
still
on your
there.
show.
So, absolutely. So, look, Mr. Les, we gotta break the elephant in the room, right? So, you spoke at my comedy show, Laughter for Tomorrow's Future, comedy show where my man, Mr. Ciroc Fox, headlined, and
Hey.
before the show was over, you bounced. You said deuces. A lot of people, nosy people, were asking, did he, was he offended? Did somebody do something? And I'm like, no. I'm like, it was towards the end. I'm like, I think it was just time to go. It was a long night. So I'm like, I think it was just time to go. It was nothing going on. So I just wanted to make sure that everything was okay. Can we Mr. Les, was everything good? Did you have a great time at the con?
Yes, I enjoyed myself. My sister was just ready to leave. It was late for her, so that's the reason why we left.
Awesome. All right, Ciroc, well, you good? You good? Well, that is great. Well, again, we're so honored to have you on, Mr. Smith. And the first thing me and the guys were talking about before we came back from the commercial break was just voting, right? When we hear the phrase your vote counts, your vote matters, a lot of young voters and a lot of just people in general, they're starting to lose faith with that term or that phrase, your vote counts, because they seem as though there are a lot of promises being made and never any accomplishments, right? There's just all talk, no action. What do you have to say when you hear for that, being that you're running for local office?
Right. Well, I say you got to take a person for their word until they prove to you otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't say, we want you to do this and we want you to do that. It's like, what are you doing as well from a voter standpoint? And every vote does. I've seen votes or races where it's only won by a few in number. So every vote does count from that standpoint. But the other thought is from the standpoint of when they're not doing what you expect of them, then that's when your voice needs to be heard by you coming out to vote to get them out. So a lot of times we're not satisfied, but we're not doing anything to make a difference. And to make a difference, you have to initially vote, but then advocate for what you believe in to make that change happen. If that makes sense.
Okay, fellas, anybody want to chime in on that one?
I agree.
Good. All right.
It's a delay, so I'm trying to figure out when to jump in. It's like double dutch. It's hard.
I know. It's what the connection right now. Well, look, you're running for council for the largest city, and it's been said the largest city in the state of Virginia, and that's Chesapeake. And this is your I believe your second. It really is the largest city in the state of Virginia is Virginia Beach. The second largest is Chesapeake, and I forgot the ones back there. But this is your second time running for council, and the first question I want to ask is, what made you step into that political space, Mr. Smith?
Okay. First, Arrington, this is my third time running. I ran in 2018, 2020, and now 2022. But what made me reach out from city council standpoint is initially I ran for sheriff, which is my profession, for 28 years. And I just saw during that time frame, we were not rehabilitating the inmates. We were not diversified enough to where leadership was across the board. So I wanted to make those changes. The previous administration was in also almost basically 40 years. And it was just time for a change. So I tried to make that happen from the standpoint of being a sheriff. But once I got into the political arena running for that office, I saw it was not just within the sheriff's department. It was citywide issues of diversity and inclusion. And I wanted to make those changes. A lot of programs that need to be done throughout the city was not taking place. So I switched from running for sheriff, where you would just immediately within your realm, which is inmates and deputies, to citywide issues that need to be resolved.
Can we pause for a second? And this is for like the folks who get their news on IG. What exactly is the responsibility of a councilman? Like what is that person's job?
Okay, so they're responsible for the everyday operation of the city, even though it's done by a city manager, but they oversee the city manager. They hire the city manager, but as far as the infrastructure with the trash, the infrastructure as far as building bridges, roads, allowing new businesses to come to the area, we do things such as that. We give money to the school systems. We do the budgeting for every operation that takes place in the city. City council is responsible for that.
So you mentioned before about like, okay, once you vote someone into office and so then it's time to, have a voice and advocate to that person you voted for of what change or what you want to see keep happening, blase. How do they send that voice to you? Like, how do they reach out to you for that opinion?
They should have access to you publicly through emails. You can also write the council people in reference to that, and then also by phone.
So we can just call the councilman up and be like, hey, I'm concerned about this.
Exactly, which you can't do with the president of the United States.
Damn.
I think it's kind of insane about what he said was that people can sit up in office for 40 years and not even do nothing. It's like, I think there needs to be some type of system where it's like, okay, if you haven't really done this or that in a certain amount of time, then you need to go. We need to change something up. That just doesn't make sense to me.
It's like you almost having like what they have. Well, true, but like with JJ, you make a good point because it's almost like every job always will do like an end of the year review, right? With each employee, where you meet with your supervisor, they list what you have done, and they either say, okay, you got to step it up, or you're saying you're doing a good job, yada yada yada. They should probably incorporate that with council, or not just with council, but really in local office and on a national level, because it's almost like, okay, you need to do exactly what you promised, and if not, then sorry, we got to move on to the next because there's more. I think people, it kind of, like Mr. Smith.
It kind of goes back to how it's just like left to right. It's like people just, they either voting Republican or Democrat. They don't listen. They don't matter. So I guess that's why those people really are the ones sitting up there, because they're just voting for a color instead of what's going on.
You do need to
That's so true.
Know the issues, and you do need to learn the candidates. A lot of times folks don't. They ask other people's opinion who to vote for, but sometimes we need to do our own homework when we're talking about what's going in and out of our pockets and how we can make a difference. It helps to know the candidates and what they stand for.
Now social media days,
and Mr. Smith
lie on their campaign ads.
Well, yeah, they do that regardless, coming back and forth. Oh yeah, because I mean, again, we get our news off of 30-second clips. I mean, that's that's literally like where most people get their news from. But
that's why I asked the basic question. That's why I asked it, because I know certain people don't even know. They haven't even really understood what a councilman does. They just see their face everywhere when good things.
They don't even know who's on count. They don't even know who's on. They don't even know who their mayor is. I mean, when it comes to local office, like I was talking with a buddy of mine, Nathan Crawlin. Les, you know Nathan. Nathan was at your one of your events over at Why Not Pizza, and we were talking about when they have city council meetings, right? And it's on like their local city website. Not everybody knows what our website is, Chesapeake.what. I mean, they don't know when the first council, and it's open to the public, but you can watch it like Skype or watch it virtually from there. But nobody really pays attention or knows when they're having their next meetings. They don't know what the new plans are for the area. We get it from our local news, which again is pretty short clips. They're probably 60 seconds to 2 minutes, when it comes to stories and stuff like that. So we get it from that level. We somewhat get it from the newspaper if people still, buy the newspaper. So it's really hard when it comes to the access, even though Mr. Smith, you're giving us like it's as simple as calling your local office and things like that. Like it's really easy, but to some people this is still difficult because they're like, well, how can we still get in touch? I mean, we know where City Hall is, and things like that, but a lot of people still don't know as far as like, you know, certain access. But I want to talk to you, Mr. Les. Like, how important is it though to understand and know what's going on local politics rather than on a national level?
Because like I said, Arrington, we're talking about what happens with everyday life. We're talking about what's happening with your kids as far as going to school. We're talking about what's going on as far as your particular community, as far as it being safe. Do you have an issue with drugs in your community? Do you have an issue with law enforcement in your community? For everything that's happening on a local level, you need to be in tune with who's in charge and who do you go to for answers. If you have problems, if somebody reached out to me in reference to people are speeding up and down our road, what can we do? Sometimes we have what we call civic leagues. They gather together, find out what the complaints are from the citizens. They take it to city council. They take it to city hall and they get answers. If we need to have more policing in the area, if we need to have speed bumps in the area, they make all those things happen. But until you complain, you don't get any support. You don't get anything out. You don't get anything done. And then on top of that, when you complain and your numbers are small, as you don't get answered, you're not heard because your voice is not loud enough. And where it comes in hand of having somebody that will support you in your endeavors and whatever your needs are, they will listen. You need to have someone. Sometimes I'm saying, like mine, makes a difference. And if you don't have someone that can relate to your issues, then a lot of times your voice is not heard.
Do you mind, Arrington?
Yeah, go ahead, Zach. I mean, go ahead, sir.
Yeah, I'll have an asshole stance on something. Okay. A lot of people are simply too broke right now to really focus or care about who y'all are or what y'all doing. You know what I mean? Like a lot of folks, they doing so bad as far as trying to keep up with their everyday living that they feel like, look, I see your commercial, your 60-second ad. You said you're gonna do this, this, and this. I vote for you. As far as when you get there, just do what you said. I ain't got time to really check up on you. You know what I mean? It's more people like that who just simply don't got the time to put that much energy in the checking of what y'all doing. So it's like, how do you win those people over to be more, I guess, involved when they're just struggling to get groceries?
I'm trying to figure that one out myself as far as how to get their vote. But my thought process is initially, because you don't have the time and you're living day to day and you're caught up in the hustle and bustle, you got to trust in somebody. And those that say, I don't have time to look into all the details, give someone a shot, whoever that might be. But do know this also on council is that it's 9 people on council. So even if I get on, I'm only one vote. But my thing is, me being on council, I can advocate for you and I can share what your thoughts are, what your are to the public, and that gives them something to think about. And then they go to the vote. But I have to be convincing based on what your concerns are that gets passed. And that's how you build. That's why you build relationships while you're on council. That's
I like
why when
this
you're on
left
council,
guy.
you try to.
I like him.
You try.
I told you, Ciroc, I told you.
I like him. Oh, did he
gotta
freeze
support?
up?
Gotta
So
support.
when we have a ticket, so when we have a ticket, so say for instance, if I'm running and I got 4 people on the ticket along with me, vote for all of them because more than likely they're going to vote the way I vote. If I say we need something done based on the constituent of mine, then I need to force them to vote the same way. And that's how the opposition works. As far as them getting things done, they vote ticket down. And when it comes down to voting on something, the issue, they vote party down. So I'm going to give you the demographics of our current city, even though all of the races locally are considered independent, meaning it's not an R by your name or a D by your name or I by your name. It's just everybody independent. But in most cases, most candidates are endorsed by one party or other. And the 2 main parties is Republican and Democrats. In our particular city, Chesapeake, the ratio of 9 people is 7 Republicans and 2 Democrats. And what I just shared with you all, when they vote on issues, in most cases, they vote the party line down. So if something in a community of color wants something done, and there's only 2 people that were willing to vote their way, and 7 vote the other way, how do you get something accomplished? In most cases, you won't. And that's why I'm trying to say, 1, get on, accomplish that. 2 is increase the numbers of like-minded people so we can get things done. And thirdly is, by there being diversity, you get a mix of ideas, and it's not all one way. And that's what we're focusing on and try to make happen. But we can't do it without the public support.
And that's kind of the big challenge, when you think about it, because really the city of Chesapeake is a very, predominantly conservative city. I mean, so it's a pretty red city, and correct me if I'm wrong, where council is outnumbered when it comes to Republicans on council. So when you're outnumbered, and like you said, it's better off to have more of a diverse in the field, because at the end of the day, it's a diverse world that we live in, and it should be kind of balanced like that. What is another question I want to ask, and it's kind of spoken record, but how important is it for young people that are at least 18, the 18 through 30 range? How important is it for them to really come to an understanding and on, because Ciroc is answering some great questions on why we really should focus on council, but really, focus on our local elections and vote. But really, how important is it for just the young people to get more involved and to learn more, rather than just older people that just gave up on the voting and it's coming back and forth? Like, how important is it for young people?
It's very important for young people, Arrington, because the fact is, young people voting now, this particular election, it's going to impact them for the next 20 years if they stay here locally. It's going to have an impact on them as far as jobs. It's going to have an impact on them as far as schooling goes. The housing industry, it affects everything, and it's just not in the now. We're talking about 20 years into the future, and that's why it's important that they start voting now.
This is from my observation. Awesome. I go to a lot of different cities, and I get to hang out with some very different individuals. A lot of young guys, a lot of young club promoters who's involved with city work, and I feel like the young folks of this generation care more about political aspects and stuff than my current, like the 30-year-olds. I feel like these 18, 19, 20, 22-year-olds, these young social justice warriors, they going hard. Like, they're using these social media tools. They're using TikTok. They change whole city plans on TikTok from stuff going viral. Like, I feel like they care more than my generation do. That's for sure.
Yeah, I agree with that. And Mr. Les, I have first I want to say thank you for your service, as far as with the law enforcement and everything. I know that's got to be a tough job. But right, exactly. I kind of had 2 questions. One, what challenges have you run into as a Black man, being, serving as a sheriff and everything, and how do you think that your experience as a sheriff and in law enforcement will help you to serve the community on the board also?
Okay, so the question first, dealing with being a sheriff, I want to say, from my standpoint of being an African American working with corrections, it's a little different. Me, I enjoy the job. My own, but the majority of us that are incarcerated are people of color, so I could relate to them. My upbringing, I grew up in public housing, so once again I could relate to them, but then my decision making was different, but it gave me an opportunity to share with them my experience as a and where they go from there. So I enjoyed my job because I was able to help folks out along the way. Also making sure that they didn't get hurt, if I could, from a safety standpoint, beating up on one another or being assaulted by other guards or other sheriffs. That was something that was just a part of me. But some people had a problem with me being that way, meaning being liked by inmates. It wasn't about being liked by inmates. It was about me doing my job. So by the same token, I would do anything for them that would break the law. So they asked me to bring something in, send something to somebody. That was happening. I was going to do my job, but still yet I was going to look out for them at the same time, best I could, based on my position.
Wow.
So from that standpoint, I enjoyed being a sheriff. But how it in today's position of trying to run for city council, it helps me to understand that there's room for everybody in the city and everybody needs to be paid attention to. And it shouldn't be one-sided. I experienced the discrimination working at the sheriff's department. And I don't want to see it continued on within the community at large. I have an opportunity to do that, not forgetting where I came from, but still yet addressing the needs of all citizens involved, to include people of color, include people of backgrounds where they're not financially sound, but still need assistance and still need a voice. I need to be there for all of them. And being in the system that has humbled me to understand that there's a need and a void that needs to be filled. And I plan on doing that.
That's honorable, man. Thank you.
In boot camp, there was this drill instructor. He was a black guy. He was the only black drill instructor part of the platoon leadership. He was the only one. Everybody else was white or Hispanic. And because he was black, he would treat the other black recruits way worse than he would treat the other recruits, of non-color. I bring that story up to say, have you ever seen firsthand or been a little guilty of being a little harder on the black populace as far as maybe in corrections or even just in, the political aspect? Do you treat them a little bit rougher because you're an African American, or have you experienced it?
Okay, so I've experienced it done to me, being treated rougher because I'm the same color as the person above me, and what's normally shared is that we're doing it or making it harder on you because it's hard for you to make it in the field, period. So you have to be 2 times, 3 times better. So I'm making it difficult for you so you don't make those mistakes. That's how it was taught to me. It was done to me. That's not my philosophy. I treat everybody the same until you give me a reason not to treat you the same. So I'm not going to be harder on you because you're black and I'm black. No, I'm going to give you the same amount of room as I would give the next person. And if you fail, I'll try and correct you. But initially, I won't make it harder on you than the next man.
Okay. That's good.
Okay. Man, that was awesome. I'm reading some of your what you're focusing on, Mr. Smith, as your pain. And out of all, I think there's about 5 or 6 of them, out of all of them, what is the most important one that you're really trying to pursue to the city of Chesapeake? What are you really trying to bring for the city that you're really focusing on?
Okay. So without money, you can't do much of anything. So therefore, we have to bring in more revenue than we're currently bringing in the city. Right now, a lot of our income tax dollar comes from residential housing. That's not going to be our ticket to the future. We have to attract more businesses to the area, small and large businesses to the area. That's going to increase our tax base. So that's one thing that needs to take place. That one, bringing in more revenue, and also would be bringing in businesses. But in order to bring in businesses, you have to attract them to the area. And you cannot attract them there without affordable housing. You cannot attract businesses to the area where you don't have things for them to do. And that leads me to another area that I want to concentrate on is having our recreation and our education, not recreation and our entertainment dollar in Chesapeake, as opposed to that recreational dollar going to cities. We don't have a convocation center with different events. We have to go to Virginia Beach, Hampton, or Norfolk for those events. We don't have a sportsplex like the other cities have. We just got word that we're going to get a swimming pool, but that came with a lot of advocating back and forth to have a public swimming pool in our city. We don't have fine arts in our city. People need to have a place to congregate together, to enjoy themselves, to be entertained, outside of just a place to live and go to work. And those are the things that's going to attract young people to the area. It's also going to make more jobs available in the area. And then also want to have a lot of programs in place from the standpoint of making sure we have trades, which we've done away with a lot in the city, working with the public school systems, and the next level as far as trades, as far as electricians, plumbers, people that does carpentry. A lot of those things we've gotten away from because most things are going into electronics and cybersecurity, so forth and so on. But somebody has to do those other labors, and they're paying well. So we have to have those programs in place. And last thing I want to say in reference to programs that's going to keep some of our young people off the streets because they got coming in. When I grew up, we had what we call a stop program, doing a way to make a little bit of money, even though you weren't 16 or whatever the age is to get a license to work. So 13, 14, and 15, we were able to work during the summers. We had a few dollars in our pocket. So now we're not stealing and we're not killing. That's going to prevent some of that.
Absolutely,
I like that.
Absolutely.
Well, Mr. Short.
Well, look, I truly appreciate you putting out the time out, making the time out your busy schedule to chat with the fellas here at our Smooth Club. I really think it was very informative. I hope a lot of people, take this into consideration and really focusing on what's going on in the local office. And if you're a resident of the city of Chesapeake, hey, you already know, you see I'm supporting right here my friend, Mr. Les Smith, running for city council. Voting is happening November 8th. So please be sure to vote for this man. And Mr. Smith, how can they support and hear about your, events and just read on some of your things that you're bringing on to the city? How can we continue to support?
The best way to reach out to me is on my website, LesSmithForOffice.com. LesSmithForOffice.com is the best way to reach out to me. I do have an email address as well. That's Lessie, Lessie Smith 06@gmail.com. And I'm trying to see my phone number is 757-525-2781. I will make myself available to anyone that reaches out to me. If I don't get within 24 hours, give me 48 hours and you should hear back from me one way or the other. And thank you once again, everyone, for your time.
Thank you.
Awesome. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Les Smith, candidate for Chesapeake City Council, and we're hoping soon to be City Councilman for the city of Chesapeake. So let you have a great one. That. God bless. Yes, and, best of luck on the election.
I appreciate it. Take care, guys.
You got our vote. Yes, sir.
Fellas, again, I tell you, we made it happen after this storm. This storm been messing with the Wi-Fi the whole time because that was a tough interview. Yeah. But I hope people can still, listen and, stay engaged to, some of the key things that we spoke, just the importance of voting. And, like, Mr. Smith said, hey, to a certain extent, if we see a lot of stuff that pisses us off, we got to put our money where our mouth is. And that's really a lot of the people that want to pursue office. But again, it's just coming with the understanding, really paying attention. Look, even going on our local website, seeing, okay, some of the initiatives and things like that. Just get more involved. And I think it was definitely helpful.
I'm lucky enough to be friends with all the hoes who mess with the politicians. So I got firsthand knowledge of everything that goes down within the political world. These niggas pillow talk to all my friends.
I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
Right, I ain't scared.
I don't know who you're talking about. Right. That was not me. That was not I.
I couldn't find nobody on less though. That's why
I know we tried. Nothing.
I was looking for him. I was calling all my homies. Hey, who got less? Nobody had him, so he a good guy.
They said Les Smith, though. That's the man right there. That's the man. They was like, Ace the Rock was in the bushes and everything. Damn it. No.
Oh man.
The man just got groceries. Checking out the man's garbage can and everything. Nothing. But
yo,
ain't got no dirt on him, man. No dirt that I can find.
Oh my god!
But I tell you, after knowing him for quite a while, man, he truly is humble. And again, I think season 2 we brought on my boy Brandon Hutchins, who really kind of recapped the same a similar conversation of what we had when it comes to knowing what's going on in your local office, because he also ran for council in Virginia Beach, and so hearing him and then coming back to Mr. Smith and just really starting to be involved and coming to understanding. It's important because we're all business owners. We want it's best to know what's going on in the local area, but a great way to network. But again, seeing what's coming to the area and to the city, and like Les said, man, everything comes with money. And like I've been in Chesapeake all my life, we have never had no form of entertainment, none. We got breweries. Yeah. We got a Hooters. We got beef. We got
my first show ever.
We got the Chesapeake this year. What were you saying? What were you saying, Ciroc?
My first show ever is going in Chesapeake is going to be this year. I never produced a show in Chesapeake till now.
Oh wow! What about Suffolk?
I heard that, JJ. I heard that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do a lot of strip parties out there.
Yeah, they known for that. Yeah,
there's some little freaky people out there. So.
Yeah, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Hey, Zach said that like a politician right there. Yep.
No, yeah. Happily married.
That's right. That's right.
Right. But see, I'm from Portsmouth, so
Woo! You still in Portsmouth?
Though.
I'm originally from Portsmouth. I'm in Suffolk now, but
okay.
Pray for Portsmouth. Yeah.
Pray for Portsmouth, man. It was and that's a perfect example of people that can't get their stuff together. Because I was listening to an interview on the radio, and they were interviewing the mayor of Portsmouth, and he was just saying, "Hey, council can't come to an agreement. We just can't come to an agreement." And we all saw the viral video of a politician, saying, "I'm mad at the motherfucker." Yeah. That was Portsmouth. Yeah. For those who are like, "What city was that?" That was Portsmouth.
Yeah.
And it definitely made some headlines around and some noise, but definitely got to get their stuff together. Hopefully that won't be in the city.
They be really trying to put an effort when they put an event on. They try to do the 420-ish.
Yeah. Wasn't Rick Ross at that?
Rick Ross was there. City Girls was there.
Yeah.
I think wasn't Fat Joe there too?
Oh, I don't know.
I think I did hear he was there. Yeah.
Like one big boy.
Yeah, man. I wish the whole 757 could come together, and
I mean, we did have a music festival, but
yeah, but then Virginia Beach want to act like they did and kill Pharrell's cousin and everything, so I don't know, man. We can't never have nothing in the 7-5.
But you know what though? It's they're trying to put on social media as far as a protest to bring them back, right? They want to bring something to Waterfest back, because really they were saying it didn't make sense to have it in DC because it's called something in the water. And
right.
It's like there's no water around.
They got that water
maybe like the
in
pond,
front of the Washington Monument. They got that pool where everybody put their feet in from China. They got that pool.
Look at it.
You don't be seeing them Asian people put their feet in the pool.
They take off the flops and they say, "You know what? I've been walking all day. I gotta rest these dogs real quick. I gotta soak these feet." Hey, let me say something. But can you blame them? No, they walk around DC in flip flops. Do you know how bad your feet has to hurt? Like,
yeah,
I would too. I'd be like, move over.
Right.
Yeah. So water.
Nah, they do need to bring that back.
And that was, hey, look, and that's what brought the idea to Pharrell. He said, "I know where to have it at."
Right.
Something in the water. Boom, right there. We got water.
That was just a troll move. That was just petty.
Yeah, it really was.
Right next door.
Right. But I can't even be mad at him because if somebody killed my cousin, I'd probably do the same thing, man.
Yeah.
Well, it's not just that, but do their best.
Taking accountability.
Not bringing not having any answers, man. It's just that's the whole mindset. It was just like they try to keep it quiet, and it's like, no, we're not going to keep it quiet. And it's still, that's still going to be going on for a long time.
Oh yeah.
Said, hey, I'm not having it. This man had, forums where he's, I think, at NSU, just speaking on business, trying to bring more business to the area. Nobody wants to hear it, so he said, "Bet I'm just gonna go to DC." But I mean,
yeah, he definitely.
I knew
like he gave up on VA. He held a few different events, like
events
for people to come. It wasn't like entertainment, but it was just talk and how to grow, and the numbers wasn't high.
And any interview Pharrell is in, he's always shouting out the 757 too. He's always showing love, so you can't be mad at the man. Yeah,
he's just mad at the leadership, not the city, not us.
Right, exactly. We
good, but just the leadership, and see the people that he put his faith in. Hey, they just said, hey, look, we going to DC, we gonna support something in the water. And I mean, I knew a couple people that went out, and I mean, it looked good, looked like a good lineup and stuff. But again, like for people that really wish it would have stayed in in VA, they like, man, you had it on the beach, it was memorable. They had the sand statues and everything, it was dope. So hopefully they bring that back eventually. But again, it goes what happens in leadership. If leadership doesn't change and they want to keep on BSing,
why they thought he was bluffing, that he wasn't gonna come back. It's like Pharrell got more connections in the city of Virginia Beach as a whole. It's
big
like,
facts.
That was nothing for him, man.
Right.
Thank you. Look, Jay, the whole Hampton Roads.
That's what he did.
He
slept with VA's sister.
I mean, when he said he wasn't having it here, I believed it 100% that he wasn't going to have it here. I don't know why they thought different.
Yeah.
Well, what kills me is like you do realize that this man, he brought majority of them performers was really like a favor to him. Like some of them probably didn't require too much of a salary. They were favors.
Right.
And freaking then he brings out Jay-Z, and it's like, I'm just saying, in my mind, I just remember the first year. I'm like, I can't believe these performers are in.
Pharrell was like, yo, come kick it with me real quick. And they were like, all right.
You're right. Right.
You already know Diddy's all about partying. Diddy's like, okay, bet we coming with some drinks and everything. We gonna bring Busta out. We gonna bring Snoop. We gonna bring everybody. I'm like,
and then the fact he gave us our money back for the first day that got rained out, that was huge too.
Hey, that's when you know that's a good business. That man gave he gave refunds.
That first day was still going on.
Lil Uzi was supposed to perform that night, bro.
And the Migos.
Yeah. Woo. Yeah, that would have been crazy.
Some of them were actually at the Cavalier and just flew in that night saying, hey, look, if this one got postponed, I'm gonna fly out. So I'm like, dang, they were here. They were this and that. And then it was celebrities that were there that just was there in attendance. I'm like,
bro,
they had the lead singer of the Foo Fighters, David Grohl, was out there just chilling in the back. I'm like, this dude,
crazy, man.
Nirvana. I'm like, this dude is
that's crazy. So he's naming all these people. I was insane in the back. Nobody. It's cool though. Sorry.
oh, Answer Rock. Rock.
I did. It's cool. Don't worry about it.
Ciroc, the next something in the water, Ciroc, you are headlining the comedy section.
Damn right. They should have a comedy bit because they had
paying no attention.
Real talk.
Yeah.
They say, I hope this is a free event. Hey, they did that with the pop-up church, man. They said, no, we're gonna make this free.
Big facts.
But no, real talk though. I mean, I hope it was informative, fellas. I hope we all, because I mean, I'm still trying to learn, and when it comes to local office and stuff like that. So I hope I hope everybody learned something from this interview. Again, best of luck to Les Smith on this campaign. Again, it's never easy to run for local office. It definitely takes a lot of it takes a lot of funds. It takes a lot of research and just support, and just go out. Just go out and vote, man.
People get nosy in your life.
Big facts.
Hey, that's the truth.
They start looking for all your side pieces.
But fellas,
they done got Herschel Walker. Herschel Walker said, "I got no children on the side. What are you talking about?" And they said, "Wait a minute, sir. I'm your child." They're like, "Damn."
And he out there talking crazy
everybody.
Too. Right.
Yeah.
No, but fellas, like with me, I've never really been into politics. I'm starting to see I probably should be more involved, especially with local politics. But how dope would it be for, for our local, city councils to be made up of cats that look like us, I'm just thinking of it. You know what I mean? For us to be the ones that are in power, because really the people, like you said, a lot of the people like us, our age range, our demographic, we're not really involved like that. So it's really like their voice isn't being heard one way or another. So I mean, I don't know if
it's like, when do you have the time though, bro?
Right,
like
right.
You trying to build an empire yourself. Like
Right.
now, you trying to build the Zach Johnson, name.
That's
So
big facts.
when do you find the time to be like, okay, real quick,
Right.
let's build this city up real quick? You know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah.
it's hard.
That's what I'm saying.
And that's where it comes into, just supporting these people, because
Right.
these people running are probably going through the exact same boat. They're like, damn, I got all this stuff going on, but I really want to focus, but I just need the support from people, because I can't do it all on my own. So it's like, mentally, I think everybody would love to try and run for office, but like we joke about, but people try and find dirt. People try and cause harm, death threats, right?
I ain't got time for the people who've been on my Johnson to be going on CNN. No.
Right.
I ain't got time. It's only a 60-minute show. No, I'm not running for public office. Y'all
just imagine like Ciroc for president. Ciroc, that'd be kind of dope.
Don't say that.
I would vote. Hey, bro, you got my vote, bro.
They go back. No, I sucked this dick in '98. No.
And Ciroc will be like, and what's the problem? You can still vote for me. I'm your guy. Hey, it worked out for Trump, right? It worked out for Trump.
Hey.
That'd be a t-shirt. That'd be a t-shirt. I suck.
All I'm saying is I remember listening. It was this freaking politician. I forgot. He was a comedian. He was from SNL, and he was like a senator in some state. And they canceled him, and I think even like the Democratic Party like said, "Hey, no, you got to resign," because it was a picture of him like hovering over a lady's breast, like in the camera, like in the picture.
Wow.
But then look, this is what they said. Look, here's the thing though. They were like, okay, he got canceled, but yet a person says, "I'm gonna grab a girl by the punani." This man became president, so I'm just saying.
I think that's why he got liked by so many people though, because he was just a normal dick. You know how many normal assholes is in America who just like, I don't like none of these people. I like touching titties. So it's like, how can I vote for all these people who pretend like they don't? Ew.
My goodness.
How real can you be, right? I'm trying to be as honest and upfront. I want to be.
Say, I grab them by the pussies. They might not do that, but they like, well, shit. At least he grabbed something. These motherfuckers act like
oh my god!
Though. You right. People are tired of career politicians. Like I'm looking at the age bracket of like people that are in office right now. Like there's a lady that's 88 years old in the Senate. 88 years old. Now I don't care how fresh your mind is.
All of them gonna be out.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. I'm like old, and I'm just like, look, if your mind is sharp, yeah, that's cool, but still keep doing for like Zach said, it'll be cool to see people like us,
bro. Even if your mind's sharp, it's like, how can you possibly relate to a 30-year-old man with a child and a wife, in a hair business? You know what I mean? This man makes hair for a living. How can you possibly relate to this guy? How can you possibly relate to a 22-year-old who just made his first million off TikTok? It's like you too disconnected with the current times. 88, bro, sit your ass down at a beach. Chill.
What we need to do is get some of these young black, people that are going into law school and stuff, the lawyers and stuff that are up on all the laws and stuff. Man, force them to run, man, and we and then we rally behind them. You know what I mean? I think that's what we need to do.
Right behind
because they already know. What'd you say, Jay?
I said right behind them with the tiki torches.
Should it be like, this is a rebellion?
All our hats gotta be green. All our hats gotta be green.
Right. There you go. With dollar signs. We trying to make this paper. We trying to make this paper. Dude.
We trying to make this paper.
We trying to make this paper.
Coochie Daddy shorts and tiki torches. I'm with it. I'm with it.
But for real though, it's like we're tired of the BS, man. We are exhausted. It's just old stuff, man. It's like I'm better off freaking finishing up Ozark or something. I don't want to watch this stuff. I'm like, I got better things to do.
Right.
It's just it really gets old, man. But hey, I'm with you, Zach. Get these attorneys because look, they already great at debates.
Right.
They already know the law.
Exactly. Every black person that's young and that's going through law school, get ready because we're putting you in the office right after you get out.
We don't care.
Real talk.
We don't care.
There you
Forget
go.
your plans.
Right.
We need you right now. You being drafted.
Exactly. And we'll all
fucked up. We ain't smart enough to do it. We need
exactly. We'll take tithes and offering. Everybody put in a few dollars. You go towards your pocket. We got you.
Play gonna come back around about 4-5 times. We got
exactly. Exactly.
Oh,
that's how we're gonna do it.
Hey, that's how we gonna do it, y'all. That's how we gonna do it. But hey, fellas, it's always a great time chatting with y'all.
Much love.
Before we end it off, I gotta shout out some of our sponsors, the Dapper Luke Collection. Our friend Luke Haskett, better known as Dapper Luke, founder of the Dapper Luke Collection, which focuses on bringing unique colors and styles to both men and women with custom suits. You name it, he has it. You can go to his website, dapperlukecollection.com, or if you're in the Hampton Roads, Virginia area, please visit him at 3574 Holland Road, Suite 200 in Virginia Beach. And I don't have the new address, but he's gonna have a grand opening, I believe, in August. He has a showroom out in Baltimore, Maryland. So
I saw that.
Yep. So he's moving up, man. So huge congrats to Luke. I actually just spoke to him.
Baltimore wore suits.
Hey, I ain't trying to have Baltimore after us. That ain't even right. That's dangerous. That is dangerous. Ciroc, you got any shows in Baltimore? Matter of fact, you got any shows?
No, I did all mine. I'm done. I'm not going.
Okay, we gotta have security for you, bro.
Hey, Ciroc said it is one city that I will not perform in, and it is this one right here.
Oh my goodness!
I love Baltimore, man. I love Baltimore. They good. They good people. They say
Baltimore nice, man. Baltimore nice.
And they jogging
man, and also also Ingenious Gin, of course, right? Ingenious Gin, black owned, veteran owned gin. I don't have the bottle in my hand right now, but you saw the commercial we played earlier.
That was a nice commercial too. I like that.
Nice. Hey, Reggie and Lawrence, man, they got it going on with that, and it's a great drink, a great sip, and a great beverage to have, at a certain event or a party. So again, for Ingenious Gin, you can go to ingeniusgin.com, support, or any local liquor or ABC store. Please ask for Ingenious Gin.
They need to invite the show to the next commercial shoot. They crazy.
You said what?
Invite us to the next commercial shoot. I want to be in that party.
Oh yes.
I'm trying to get in trouble.
We have a great time. We're gonna have a great time. Y'all.
Don't run for office after.
Hey, Zach. See, you done messed up my plan because that would be the time we'd be like, hey, Ciroc, what about your plans for office? What about my plans? I got this whole form going on right now. Turn that into a comedy special, and this man just announced he run for president. That's what I'm talking about.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh, but guys, look, y'all enjoy the rest of your weekend. We're gonna put this episode up next week. Next week, and again, just y'all, God bless. Please continue to support our Smooth Club podcast, a show where everyday men discuss everyday topics. Hey. So, fellas, I don't have a, but cheers to y'all on a great weekend, and hey, see you next time.
See you next time.